This video is sponsored by Full Reptile Collective, brought to you by Dan Hardy. Head over to their website at fullreptile.co.uk where you can find anything from training gear, t-shirts, hoodies, all the way to coffee. For an exclusive 10% off, use Dan Said So at checkout. Make sure to also check out their YouTube channel for some of the best MMA content out there, bar my own. Let's get back to the video. Alright, UFC London guys, opening the main card. We've got Scottish BearJew back. Paul Craig is back after his very impressive win over Nikita Krylov. Getting pounded on the back, gets his signature triangle choke. Everyone knew it was coming. Everyone in the arena roared when it happened. But now he's taking on Volkan Oezdemir, who's lost twice in a row, but the two losses he's got most recently are Ankalaev and Yuri Prochazka. So it's nothing, to be ashamed about. Ankalaev's on the rise. Prochazka's now the champ. But I think it's more the way he lost to me against someone like Prochazka, where he got set up and cleanly lit up. KO'd hard. Yeah. That's not going to be a problem against Paul Craig here. That ain't going to happen with Paul Craig in the hands. But where do you see this fight going? Because you've got one specialist here against another specialist.
Yeah. First of all, you and I previewed Paul Craig Krylov, and we both said Krylov would be stupid to go into his guard, and he did. Just wanted to get that out of the way, mate. You and I both said it last time. This is a weird one because, I think this is the level that Paul Craig wants to be at now. He obviously said he was retiring at 35. That has changed. That mindset has changed, which is good. It's a good thing for us. It's a good thing for fans. This is the level he wants to be at. This is, one of the top, whatever he is, 6-7 guys in the world. I used to be a massive Oezdemir fan. And I don't know, over the years, I've just felt a wee bit flat with him. I think it's easy to be a fan when he knocks out Surkinov in 28 seconds and Manawa in 22 seconds, and the Manawa was savage. So it's easy to become a fan. And then Cormier basically crucifixed him to death, and then after that, he struggled a bit. As you say, the two losses he's had have been against, the champ now and possibly a future champ. So, yeah, I don't know. I think Oezdemir's fight IQ isn't that strong, just as a side note, right? So I think he might dabble in that game that Paul Craig loves and that nobody else enjoys. So I think he might be stupid. I think he might go chasing it. I think Oezdemir might chase it. He might have a bit of success, maybe even knock Paul down and go, oh, yes, excellent, chase it, and then Paul will wrap him up. I don't really know. It could go either way. He could knock Paul Craig out with one punch, to be brutally honest with you. So it's really hard to know for sure, mate. But I would take the saltire glasses off. I would pick Paul Craig anyway. I think it'll be certainly a lot closer than what Krylov was for sure. Maybe last a bit longer, but yeah.
Do you? That's to me. I think it'd actually be further apart. Personally, I think Paul is an expert at playing possum, making it look like he's on one punch away from the ref stopping it, so people go even further and overextend all their shots, and he's just overhooks you, which no one does. Everyone grabs an underhook. He overhooks you, cranks on your arm, and then just those long limbs, and you don't even see it coming. The setups, there's no setup, there's no telegraph in his submissions. He's so perfect with everything off his back. I could even see him pulling guard against someone like Oezdemir, not playing the stand-up game at all, because he knows he's riding that win streak where if he taps Oezdemir and there's a wait for the next title shot, he could be in an eliminator. Or if someone pulls out injured, he's stepping in. And suddenly, from being retired at 35 to all of a sudden, he could be fighting for a title within a fight or two. That's a massive difference. And I think it's been a very long time since Ozdemir's been the no-time guy,
Yeah.
Anthony Smith really exploited the grappling with him, didn't he? When he just controlled him on the ground, smashed him to bits and choked him out in the third. So, I mean, Paul Craig's got a decent gas tank as well.
He's like an old-fashioned light heavyweight, but of the new breed. It's a really strange thing because he is very, he's big. He's a big laddie. He's a big, he's 6'2", isn't that big in height, but he's just a big boy. He's big and he obviously loves his hands. I think that's almost an old-fashioned Shogun type, that kind of type of fighter. I think you have to be much more well-rounded anyway. With everyone talks about being well-rounded. Look at Volkanovski a couple of weeks ago, Adesanya. These guys are elite level. Oezdemir is almost like an old-fashioned light heavyweight, whereas Paul has no grappling. Well, he will some, but no one near. Whereas Paul could probably stand with Oezdemir for a bit, and then maybe start struggling if Oezdemir really put it on. Whereas if Paul Craig pulls guard, Oezdemir's finished, as you say. So there is a bit of a disparity in terms of that. But last time you and I spoke, you said Paul has fallen in love with his hands, and he did a wee bit with Krylov, not too much, but he made, because Oezdemir will be willing to stand and strike with him. That's the thing. Krylov was a wee bit, I don't know, Krylov was like...
Krylov's more of a mixed martial artist, well-rounded, isn't he?
There was danger on all sides with Krylov. It maybe like not, I don't want to disrespect the guy, he's maybe decent at everything rather than Oezdemir being a really elite striker but terrible at grappling, so there was a danger there. Whereas with Oezdemir, Paul might get sucked into it. I don't know. I don't think he will. He's a smart guy. His IQ is really his fight IQ is class. But it's certainly an interesting one. It's probably his biggest fight, I would say. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I think it's his biggest name by far. Okay, he fought Ankalaev, but he fought Ankalaev way back when Ankalaev wasn't a thing. So Oezdemir is a thing, and he is in the rankings. As you say, the right win, the right... Mark always says on our show that like the type of win goes a long way. I don't agree with that. I don't know. Sorry, I do agree with it, but I don't like to agree with it because I don't think it should matter. I think if you win, you win. It's as simple as that. I do understand choking somebody out in the first 40 seconds looks good. So the right type of win here. You know, he jumps. He doesn't jump. Volkan's behind him, but you know, you're looking above, and there's killers above him that, as you say, one fight away from potentially fighting for the title. So it's huge. It's huge.
And working with Tom Aspinall this camp as well. All I know is he's been working on his offensive wrestling, getting into that clinch without getting hit is so important for Paul. Getting inside that range before he gets cracked with that right hand. I mean, for Volkan, what he needs to do is stay on the outside, pick him apart, not implement any form of grappling. He wins the fight, clear as day. Paul, any other way, Paul wins. He gets in close against the cage. He's going to Ortega Cub Swanson this. He's going to jump, wrap up a neck. He's going to grab a limb. He's going to roll. He's going to Imanari. He will do whatever it takes to get this to the floor. And I think we both stand on point here where we both think Paul will do it, especially being in London as well. The whole crowd's back behind him.
Yeah, it's not me. I think I agree. I think like if he gets a hold of Oezdemir, then I think it might be game over. I can't see Oezdemir having enough to defend anything that Paul Craig has. I know we all love Paul's favourite is pulling guard. We know that's his favourite, but he doesn't need to pull guard. I mean, he can submit people, you know, from the top, I presume. So it's one of these things. It's funny that I would have thought, just like without checking, that Oezdemir would have been longer, but he's not. He's not longer than Craig, so that might actually help as well. It might help Craig close.
Craig has deceitfully got long limbs.
He has. Yeah, I mean, he's taller as well, which again, I wouldn't have. If you says to me, who's the bigger guy, I'd have been, Oezdemir every day of the week. But Paul's very tall, lanky, as you say, like very limmy. So yeah, I'm actually quite excited for it. It's funny. I've always been a bit of an Oezdemir fan, as I say, like kind of drift away. I think he's hard losses. I mean, I remember the controversy around the Reyes decision, and I remember
Reyes winning that.
Yeah, I remember that being particularly bad, to be honest. But I'm pretty sure I had that Oezdemir all day long.
Did you?
Yeah, I think so. Again, things have moved on so much since then; it may change. But yeah, man, I'm buzzing for the fight, mate. To be honest, it's the only Scot on the card. We always get excited for Scottish fighters, as you know.
As you should.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, got to support local. Happy to support the British overall, but the Scots always come first with us boys. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And it opens the main card, which is good. Hopefully it's a good set. If it's a first round, second round sub, that'll get the crowd buzzing for Molly coming, I think. So that'll be good.
Absolutely. I reckon it will end up like Jamal Hill. That's what I think. Big puncher, getting caught. Yeah, lovely.
Thank you.